Good morning, friends. Let's start today's session, and our topic is function. What is function? Why we use function? And what is the difference between function and procedure? What is function? Functions are another type of named store code, which are very similar to the procedure. And the significant difference is that a function in a PLSQL block that returns a single value. Okay, so function can accept one, more than one, or no parameter, but a function must have return clause in executable section, and data type of the return value must be declared in the header of the function. Okay, so this is the definition of function. So let's take a syntax. What is function and what is here is the syntax for the function and the procedure. The left side screen shows the procedure syntax, and the right side screen display the syntax of functions. So this is the difference between function and procedure syntax. In function syntax, we create or replace function. Difference is in red color. So are you with me? Yeah. So create or replace function, function name, list of parameters, which is not necessary. Okay, return clause, that is compulsory to have a return clause over here. Return data type, okay, is as declaration section for variables. Begin and end block. Between begin and end block you can write your logic over here with return statement, return variable, that is compulsory for the function. Okay, and the exception part, you can handle uh, errors over here. Okay, so this is the basic syntax of functions. Now come to the difference between function and procedure. Okay, so first of all, function can return only one value, whereas procedure can return many values, maximum 1024 in Oracle database. So procedure can return more than one values with the help of out parameters, but function can return only one value. Okay, so sometimes an interviewer asks a question, that is, can function return more than one values, and if yes, then how? So your answer would be like, yes, function can return more than one value by using type data types, but it is not recommended to use this functionality in function. We have procedure to perform or return more than one value. Okay, so use procedure to return more than one value instead of function. But yes, forcefully you can want, if you want to return more than one value, then you have to create a type of variable, type data types, and use that type data types as an object in your function. So let's take an example. To create a type, and how to use that type as an object. So this is a syntax for create type. Create type, type name, my type, as object. We create a type data types, my type, as an object, and the value you can pass over here is a and b. A is number type and b is varchar type. So let's create this type of data types. Okay, it's already created. Okay, now create your function. Create or replace function, function name. So function name is return underscore more underscore value. Passing variable is a and b, which is we declared in at the time of type declaration. Return my type, which we declared previously. Okay, as sorry we create a object for my type. So my underscore object is a variable of my type. Okay, so let's between begin and end block, we pass my type of variable to my underscore object variable. Okay, so we assign at my underscore object assigning operator my type and the value a and b. Okay, means assigning a value to my object from my type and assigning two values a and b. Okay, then return, that is compulsory, return my object which have two values, okay, a and b. Now let's execute our function return more values compiled. This is the output. Okay, now call this function, select, this is the syntax for calling the function. Select x. What is x? X is a statement. This statement, you can say that we use x as a name for this syntax, for the our select statement. What is the nickname? So x dot object. Okay, so this select statement we write as the object. Other name, you can say that other name, object dot a. The first value we pass, the first value is 1, and the same the second value, is triple a. Object from dual. Dual is a small temporary table used for calculating purpose. Or okay, so let's execute this calling of functions. See, we pass two values and return two values over here, id and name. The id equal to 1 and name will triple 1. Or you can pass some more values over here, return all, use this function. Are you with me, guys? Please see on the screen. We write two select statements. Select return return more values. We pass two values a, 1 and triple a. Then the other values 2 and triple b. Okay, so we pass four values in our function. Let's execute this. See, the output is id, name. The output is a, 1, 1 triple a, 2 triple b. So this is how you can return more than one value by function. Okay, so understand? Okay, let's move ahead with the second differences. So function take one input parameter which is mandatory. Okay, but procedure may take 0 or number of n number of input parameter. Okay, function also take more than one parameter, but procedure may take 0 or number of n input parameters. Okay, the third one is function can be used in select statement. Very important. Function can be used in select statement, whereas procedure cannot. But we have some limitation to use function in select statement, such as if your function have DML statement, then you cannot call this function from the select statement. Okay, the other one is function can be called from stored procedure. Okay, whereas the stored procedure cannot be called from the function. Very simple. Okay, the stored procedure can be used to read and modify the data, but function can only read the data. We cannot modify the data with the help of function. Okay, we just perform uh, some action like means we perform some action with the help of procedure, but we calculate something with the help of function. Okay, so stored procedure allows select as well as DML statement in it, whereas function allows only select statements in it. Okay, the most and very important thing is procedures are compiled for first time and stored in database, and execute these compiled codes whenever it is called. Means no need to compile the code again and again, but function is compiled and executed every time when it is called. Okay, so procedure is a set of statements which used to perform a task, whereas function is a set of statement which is used to compute some value and return that value. So these are the basic difference between functions and procedures. Now come to the example. So first of all, very simple example, create a function to find out total number of employees available in your table. Okay, remember we find out the total number of employees. Okay, so create or replace function. Function name is total emp. We did not pass any parameter over here. Return number is total is a variable which the type is number, and we assign 0 value to it. Okay, between begin and end block we write select count asterisk into total is variable from employee table, and return total. So let's execute this function. See, function total emp compiled. Okay, now calling this function, there is a two way to call this function. Okay, the first is in between begin and end block. Simple. This is the syntax for calling the this function. Between begin and end block, c, we assign a variable c, and equal assign our function name, comma, and dbms output put line is for display purpose, and the total number of employees variable c, which we declare in declare section, which is also a number type. So let's execute this part. See, total number of employees is 6. Let's check the employee table first. See, the employee total number of employees is 6, and our function is also display the same, total number of employees 6. Okay, the other way to call the function is via select statement. Select function name between small comma and close it as total number of employee. This is a name for the column from dual. Dual is a small small table to use for temporary purpose. Let's execute this. See, total number of employees 6. Okay, so this is how we declare function, define function, and use it. Okay, now come to another example which demonstrate how to declare the function, define the function, and invoke the simple function. See, this is a simple block. Declare a, b, c, these are number types. Function find max. We have to find the maximum value between two given values, x and y. Both are in type. Okay, return number is z, which is also a number type. The simple logic, if we compare two values x and y, so if x is greater than y, then put x value into y, okay, else put y value into z, and then finally return z, means z is a maximum value. Okay, so without closing this block, we call this function as well. A, we pass 10 value 10 over here, and b equal to 12. The c variable calls the function find max a and b, which contain 10 and 12. Okay, the dbms output put line maximum of 10 12 is a variable c, is in variable c. Let's execute this whole block, which contain the function and the calling of the function. See, the anonymous block completed, maximum of 10 12 is 12. See, the anonymous block completed. Remember this thing, because we declare in a block, we declare a function in a block and use in the same block. That's why it's a anonymous block. Okay, now you cannot call this function from select statement. Why? Because it creates and used in a single block itself. Okay, remember the basic block we discussed in first session. This is same as the basic block, where we declare a function and use in the same block. That's why we cannot call it from select statement. Let's execute what will the error. See the error number is this: find max invalid identifier. Okay, so in a block we cannot call a function which involved in a block. We cannot call it from outside with the help of select statement. Okay, so let's break this find max function into the function create or replace function and call it from outside. So we break it, create or replace function find max 1 x input y input, same function, and logic also is same, return number. Okay, z is a number where we store the maximum value in between begin and end block. The logic was same. If x is greater than y, then pass x value to y, x value to z, else pass y value to z. And if block, this is the end of if block, and then return z, which contain the maximum value. And this is the termination. Black slash is the used for termination. So let's create this function. See, function find max 1 compiled. Okay, now call this function from outside. Okay, with the help of a simple block and the select statement. See, a b c, these are the number type. Between between begin and end block, we pass a value to a 23rd, 45 to b, and call this function into c variable find max 1, pass a and b. db means output put line maximum of 23 and 45 is variable c. Now let's execute this part. Okay, anonymous block completed, maximum of 23 and 45, and is 45. Why anonymous block? Because these are anonymous block. Okay, now call this function from select statement. This is the syntax for calling the function via select statement. See, find max 1, 20 and 40. We pass value 20 and 40. The maximum value is 40. So this is how function we create function, how we use function, how we call function. Okay. Another example you can see another example. We create a function to get the salary of provided id or provided employee id. Means you want to retrieve the salary of your given employee number. Okay, so create and replace function get salary. Emp number is a variable which we provided at the time of function calling. Return number. Okay, because we need salary as output, so return type is number. V underscore salary is a variable which also have a number type, and 11 2 is a length of the salary. Okay, between begin and end block we write our logic. Select salary into v underscore salary. This is a variable from employees where employees id equal to emp id which we provided at the time of function calling, and return v salary. Simple. So let's execute let's create this function. See, function get salary compiled. Now check the employees table first. So suppose employee id 100, first name is Steven, and the salary is 24,000. So we insert employee id 100 and we'll get the salary is 24,000 with the help of this function. So select get salary is a function name, pass employee id, okay, from dual. See, the output is 17,000. Let's execute once again with employee id 100. See, the salary is 24,000. So this is how we create a function. We create a function and call it from outside of the function. Okay, so generally the function used for compute a value and return it. Okay, so this is all about the function. You create your own function. You write your own logic between begin and end block. Use it from outside. See, suppose another example. You can see that for compute some bonus of a given employee. Okay, so we create or replace function name is compute bonus. We pass employee id and bonus as input type of variable which also has number type, and return number. Okay, so is emp salary. Emp salary is a variable which we use in our select query. Begin, between begin and end block we write a statement select salary into emp salary. Emp salary is this number, from employee is the table name where employee id equal to emp id. Emp id which we provide at the time of function calling. Return. Now here we write a emp salary plus bonus. Okay, so bonus we provided at the time of function calling and our procedure name. Let's create this function. See, function compute bonus compiled. Now let's check the employee table first. Okay, employee id is 100, name is Steven, the salary is 24,000, and we provide bonus to him is around 6,000. Okay, we pass two things and return bonus. Okay. The first thing is employee id which is 100 and the bonus. See, bonus is 30,000. So this is how we create function and so on. You can practice with some other example like square of the function, okay, factorial of the function, and so factorial of the function is a recursive function. Means function call itself in a in between block. Function call it yourself. This is how we create a factorial of the that number. See, create a replace function. Fact x is a number type which we provided at the time of function calling. Return number is f is a variable. We write our logic over here. Okay, if x equal to 0, then we pass one value to f, because if because what is the logic of the factorial? If you write factorial 3 means 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 0. It's multiplied in descending order. Okay, so when it becomes 0, the value should be 1, otherwise the whole value would be 0. Okay, else our logic f contain x multiplied by, again we call same function again with with minus 1 value. So x into fact x minus 1, and if return f. Simple. So let's create this fact function fact compiled. Now call this function by via block. Declare num is a number type, factorial is also number type. Between begin and end block we pass value 6. We want to execute we want to fetch out the factorial the value of factorial 6, and the factorial assigning value fact num equal to 6. So factorial of 6 will be, let's execute this. The factorial of 6 is 720. Okay, now you can also call this by select statement. Select fact 6 from 12. See, the fact is 6 is 720. So this is how we create a function. Okay, you can also create some series with the help of function. Okay, so this is all about the functions. Let's create a series. Series name is Fibonacci series. You know what is Fibonacci series? Fibonacci series is contains 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5 and so on. Means it is the summation of previous two number. Okay, so series is like 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13 and so on. So we create a function Fibonacci, name is Fibonacci, and is integer type, and return the same integer. See, we created two variable fab1 and fab2, which is integer type, or you can say that number type. We pass 0 and 1 value at the time of initialization. Okay, and between begin and end block we'll write our logic. Simple. If n equal to 1, then return fib1. Fib1 means this one. If n equal to 10, then return fib2, and means 0 and 1. forcefully we write 0 1 as output. Else, if n is more than 2, then what? Then return Fibonacci same number we call recursive calling n minus 2 because it is a number of 3. Okay, so we print 1 and 0 and 1 with this block. Okay, when the number of n equal to 3, then we come to this block. Okay, this is called recursive calling of a function. So when n equal to 3, so it will be 3 minus 2 and 3 minus 1. So this is the summation of last two digits. Okay, and this is recursive calling, so it will output the summation of last two numbers. So let's create this Fibonacci function Fibonacci compiled. Now call this function. You have to call this function again and again, because remember, function always return one value. If you write something like this, 3 function 3 from dual, what will be the output? Output will be 1 because the first variable is 1, second is 2, third one again 1, fourth one is 2, fifth one is 3, sixth one is 5, and so on. So if you write 3 over here, then the output will be 1, because 1, 2 and 3 value at third position, its value is 1. So you have to write something like this: 1 comma you call this function again with value 2, call function again with value 3, call this function again with value 4, with value 5, and so on. Okay, so what will the output of our this function calling? See, 0 1 1 2 3 and so on. So this is how we call the function. So this is all about the functions. Please do some practice on that, and let me know if you have any questions and doubts on this topic. Okay, so let's wrap up. Okay, great.